Okay, I made this video, and well, I'm making this video for a reason. Because I had a certain friend named, I can't, I want to say Mashani. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, I'm just going to call you Sean. I made this video because he wanted to know the plot of how Godzilla Open Wounds is going to work. I haven't really discussed the plot anywhere else, and right now still brainstorming is taking effect and also planning. Even though I should be focusing on the first story, I've been kind of getting distracted of how to create the rest of the series, which I shouldn't. I should be just focusing on the story, but I at least want to know what I'm going into. So what I'm going to do is that, and I know I'm really small, I only take up like 25% of the screen, so there, I'll get closer. That, he wanted to know how it's going to work. And I would say I'll start writing maybe from a month and a half, 2 months, because I at least really want to have, like, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do. All I need to do is just make characters have dialogue, give really detailed writing. And I know that makes me sound really stupid, but I'm at least going to try to set for that goal, but I know what I'm doing once I get into it. Because Dezura, like my story, Dezura went nowhere. It went nowhere, okay? There's only at least like 2 chapters, maybe 3, I'm not sure. It went nowhere at all. So, I at least, because I did bite more than I can chew. Yeah, I did bite more than I can chew or swallow because of Dezura. And so I want to at least know the faults of that so I could go on and making this Godzilla series. And yes, he does dislike fan fiction, but I'm going to go ahead and make one anyway. So, the plot of Godzilla Open Wounds is that a folktale legend is mentioned as a creature called Gojira, which is very similar to 1954. Even though this will have some 54-esque inspired parts in it, even sometimes have some 54 references to it, I'm going to make it where Godzilla was a mutation, but he never had the desire to really attack anywhere else until he is low in radiation, or another of his kind appears. So he mostly just just is seen every now and then. But after, I would say, 40 years after the last village was destroyed, he finally goes on another one. But there's a reason why, because another Godzilla has shown. But what Godzilla is it? I'm about to get to it. So after knowing that it's shown, he attacks a village not attack it, but destroys it on his path. And I think that's a great way to introduce the character in the beginning of the story, is to practically just have the beginning just complete destruction scene, where just Godzilla outright just... Yeah. Sorry about that. There's just noise and I didn't want the video to continue on with the noise. And yes, I know, that's really what all you really need to see. You just need see my hands flaying all over the place, and my face. And, and if you want to know what Godzilla will look like, and this is very Heisei looking, and a lot of people already know what it looks like. This originally was fan art, but I realized how similar it was to my Godzilla Open Wounds design. And by the way, Godzilla will have a normal eye, and a very foggy white eye. Like, you can still see maybe kind of a cornea or pupil in there. You might see a little bit of it, but otherwise, it's completely foggy. And he has black tip fingers, kind of like what some of the people that experience radiation for. And he's also going to have like these red, oozing, veiny bumps on his side, kind of representing into a very, I know what tumors look like, but it's supposed to be more of kind of like something to make Godzilla different in a way. Because they are represented as tumors, but they don't affect his health whatsoever. They're just radioactive tumors on his side. Well, after, crossing this path, this is when people actually start noticing Godzilla is real. This is when Godzilla is starting to go on a rampage to look for the other Godzilla, because Godzilla is lost to his kind. This one's more basing on Godzilla's goal. It is kind of an origin story, but at the same time, it's just introducing Godzilla. And this one, I'm kind of judgmental of how to work Godzilla, and also the opponent monster in this, because I can see these two working, but I feel like this is probably going to be not my favorite, and of course it won't be my favorite. My I think my favorites for what I thought of so far is Godzilla, Same Old War, got no, Jet Jaguar, Honor Forever, um, what was it, Gamera, um, Flame Valley. I forgot the name. I'm sorry. Just there's a lot of titles and Gamera X and Godzilla X Gamera. No, pretty much two of the Gamera stories and the Godzilla X Gamera story, and also okay, just. But that's the thing. I'm kind of afraid to go, but I'll continue on with the plot. I am getting distracted here. But Godzilla's looking for this other one because this is a story more, even though it is as structured as a normal kaiju movie. You know, you got your monsters, you got your human characters, drama everywhere, a fight, yeah, but it's gonna be more focusing on the mindset of the creatures. No, I'm just not gonna just make them have facial features and just make them like get worried. No, you're literally gonna go in the mind, especially in some dream sequences in it. So Godzilla is a very lonely creature. He thinks he's the last of his kind, especially after his death of his mother before he became Godzilla, because that was one of the last few things he remembered before he turned into the giant abomination he is. And there will be a nightmare scene where it represents a flashback of Godzilla just peeling off a bunch of oozing yellow like skin off his body to represent his new monstrosity beneath it. Again, sorry with the or what's happening out there. So, I lost track. Godzilla's a very lonely creature. Okay, he was raw from his animalhood, and he's been dealing with this all this time, but he never knew what really was his purpose was. He always was just kind of just something. He just pretty much saw himself as the animal he was. So when he did things destructive, he still thought he was, roaming on a little, roaming on the back on the island when he was a Godzillasaurus until he realized how, until he realized all the destruction around him, and also that he doesn't feed on flesh; he feeds on radiation. And that's when Godzilla realized his aggressive nature, because Godzilla, even though he's a smart animal, which I'm gonna make Gamera smarter, okay? Because Gamera knows what a human is. He knows how they work. He knows their emotion. He knows the ones he should save and the ones he shouldn't. As Godzilla, even though he's a smart creature, he doesn't really care for humans, and he doesn't really know exactly what a human is. He just sees them as something that makes him angry. And so knowing about how he became the way he was, he becomes very furious and goes on a rampage. Goes, well, more on a personal rampage than he was looking for the other Godzilla. But there's another monster in this movie. There's actually, not movie, there's two other monsters in the story. One is Minya. Minya is the small guy. And Minya is not going to look like, Minya before. Minya is going to look like Godzilla, but with the bigger head because, well, she is a baby, and yes, it will be a she. And that even though she is a mutated Godzillasaurus and she is Godzilla, she's not completely mutated just like Godzilla is. So she still can represent her old dinosaur form. That's why she's kind of more hunchback than Godzilla, and her tail is slightly lifts from the ground. And there's also Hedorah. Hedorah's origin is that it's pretty much kind of like the same as what it was in Godzilla vs. Hedorah. By the way, my 10th favorite Godzilla film, and also my 3rd favorite kaiju. A parasite lands and gets involved with an alien parasite lands and gets involved with pollution. After involved with the pollution, smoke, and smog, he became Hedorah and mass multiplied like that because the parasite that landed was asexual, so it completely just went all over the place. And after involving, it became Hedorah. And yeah, so there will be a Hedorah story after this to pretty much finish it off and also introduce another kaiju Mothra. But Hedorah feeds on all kind of things such as pollution, radiation, and many other sources. Even human body fluids, if he's human-sized, which there will be, in my opinion, a really cool scene when there's just like a herd of Hedoras just going on a beach and just ripping people apart, sucking them from the inside out. I think that'll be really cool. But he sees Godzilla as a very strong power source because he's filled with radiation, and pretty much radiation pollution and anything that comes from a being can be used as a source of energy. So he sees Godzilla as pretty much an objective. But it's to the point where Hedorah's too big, so when he eats Minya, it's not really going to have much of an effect. So he uses Minya more of something because he realizes that Godzilla's looking for this, especially in their first fight, because Hedorah can tell that Godzilla's searching for something. So Hedorah leads Godzilla to Alaska. Yes, Alaska. That's really one of the... Okay, not the first time Pacific Rim did that, but at least we get to have, in this story, at least there's a kaiju fight in the snow, kind of like Son of Godzilla. And so that happens, and Godzilla and Hedorah have their big fight. The human characters, yes, I have an idea how the human characters are going to work, but like I said, writing won't happen until maybe a month and a half, 2 months, maybe even 3 months later, because I got to create more characters. I got to create their mindsets. I got to create their personalities. I got to even make some names. I got Dakota Samuel on my mind already, because Dakota Samuel's always been a name for my main character, or at least a character in my story. So of course there's going to be a character named Dakota Samuel somewhere. A scientist, a father, a soldier, I don't know, whatever way I want it to be. Most likely a scientist. Or a paleontologist. So that's overall how it's going to be structured. Hedorah sees Godzilla as a large source of food, so he needs to have a distraction for Godzilla, as Godzilla is more discovering what his purpose is and how he proclaims in the world of Earth, or pretty much how Earth is, instead of, well, pretty much how Earth is, and that's how he becomes who he is, and, well, at the end of the story, how he realizes that he's not like he was before. He's different. And how is because of the nightmare he has. And that's when he realizes that he's not the same, because when Godzilla was, Godzillasaurus, he was completely black until out of nowhere he just wakes up again. So there was a point in time where Godzilla wakes up again, but this time he's in the ocean. There was a point in time where Godzilla's mind just went completely blank. And that's what the nightmare is based on. It's based on the forgotten memories, and that's when Godzilla realizes that he's not what he was before. So, yes, this is pretty much how it's going to be. It's going to be a very psychological story for Godzilla. And it's called Open Wounds because the Open Wounds Saga, because that's the name of the first story. It kind of set up, like, first there was like the Hedorah, Miles of Rain, and then it got split back. So, Godzilla, yeah. So, yeah. And I also uploaded a video earlier today of what most of the monsters are going to look like. I still got to draw or get my designs of what they're going to look like. And also, he definitely does not watch my videos, but my friend Lewis, not Louis Duran, but another Lewis, an artist on Facebook, not being needy, and you don't have to do it, it's just something I would like you to do, is to do a cover for Godzilla Open Wounds. It's not really that hard. You just got to redraw what kind of like your art. You just got to kind of draw, because I kind of want a black silhouette, but you can see the eyes, kind of like, when you see like in a cartoon, when you see a character, you see their eyes. I want that, but I want like a kind of gray, cloudy background with a Godzilla black silhouette representing like 2002 mixed with 1991. And you see his normal eye, and then also as well his foggy eye. I want that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. That's sort of, kind of, the plot of Godzilla Open Wounds. I think I kind of spoiled it a little bit, but that's just kind of what it comes when you want to give away when you want to say what the plot is, because of course you're going to be spoiling the movie. Not movie, story. Okay, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time, and bye.